Today's practice is designed to wake up your body all of the way from the soles of your feet to the crown of your skull. You'd like to bring yourselves down to the floor. As always, if you want to pop something underneath your thighs to help your lower back relax, do that. If not, if you're comfy just coming all of the way down to the floor, come down. I'm going to start with a body scan. All practices start and finish with a body scan. This is because in order for your brain and nervous system to begin to learn, they need to learn through comparison. So this is an exploration of finding out where you're holding subconscious tension. So your habitual patterns. Areas of the body that are stuck tight that your brain is not aware of. And these are not always the areas that cause the pain. So this is a gentle exploration. And the exploration is going to start today with an exploration of your breath. So just take a few nice, long, slow, deep breaths as you just allow yourselves to arrive in the space. Allow your awareness to move inwards, to move away from any external distraction. And just notice the quality of your breath. So remember, there's no judgment, there's no right or wrong. But just noticing, is your breath fast or is it slow? Is it deep or is it shallow? Being curious about where you can sense that breath move as you breathe in. So where do you feel it touch? And what can you release? What can you let go when you breathe back out? And then allowing your awareness to move into your body. So just taking a moment to notice how your body has arranged itself on the floor. Noticing any areas of tightness and tension. Any areas where you can sense softness and space. Noticing what you can feel and why. Being really curious about what you can't feel. Just ask yourself why. Why can't you feel it? Is it that it feels just fine? And then noticing the parts of your body that meet the earth. And following these points of connection all of the way from the back of your skull, through the back of the shoulders, down through the back of the hips, backs of the legs and into the heels. As you just take a moment to notice the weight of each heel into the earth. And to be curious about whether one heel is heavier than the other. To notice if maybe one foot has fallen more out to the side than the other. Remember, there's no need to change anything at all. All you're doing is listening, learning, observing, understanding how your body has arranged itself right now in this moment. And then being curious about what you can sense in the arches of the feet, the balls of the feet and the toes. What you can sense deep within the bones of the feet and the joints of the ankles. Through the calves, the shins and into each knee. And just being curious about the distance between the back of each knee and the floor. And just notice how this relates to what you can feel in each knee. And seeing if you can sense the backs of your thighs as they move towards the earth. What you can sense and feel in the hips. And then sensing the weight of your pelvis into the earth, left and right. So just like the heels. Maybe one side feels heavier, maybe one side feels lighter, or maybe you feel balanced. It's all fine. You then allow your awareness to move into the waist. And you notice the distance between the left side of the waist and the floor, and the distance between the right side of the waist and the floor. Are they the same, or are they different? And then allowing your awareness to move in towards the arch of your spine, as you just take a moment to sense the relationship between the whole of your low back and the floor. Your awareness moving up into the ribs as you sense each side of your rib cage as it meets the earth. You notice what you can sense and feel in the left shoulder blade, right shoulder blade. And then just take a moment to become curious about the distance between the top of your shoulders and the floor. Is there a greater distance one side of the body to the other? Is one shoulder closer to the floor? And allow your awareness to move down through your arms, past your elbows, through the wrists and into the palms of your hands. As you notice the sensations in the palms of your hands and the tips of your fingers and the length and weight of each arm into the earth. Then softly drifting back up, back past the elbows, back to the top of the shoulders. From the top of the shoulders, gently sensing into the curve in the back of your neck. Noticing the length on either side of your neck. Is it the same? Is it different? Has your head fallen to one side? So just taking that inner inventory. Do you take that first snapshot of you laid right here on the floor, noticing which parts of your body meet the earth, and any parts that might be resisting gravity. Then softly bending the knees, bringing the feet to the floor, hip distance apart. We're going to start off with some really gentle arch and flatten. So as you breathe in, I'd like you to think about rolling forwards over the pelvis. This is going to bring an arch into the low back. Your belly is going to move towards the ceiling, and your tailbone is going to move down towards the floor. As you exhale, can you softly release the low back into the floor? Gently press with your tummy muscles. Think about pressing the top of the pelvis into the earth, and notice how this lifts the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Your pelvis stays on the floor at all times. So just exploring this movement for yourself. The inhale arches the low back. The exhale softly flattens the low back. How slowly can you move? How much awareness can you bring to this movement? Is one side of your back arching more than the other? Does one side of your pelvis lead the movement? So these are all hints. They're all echoes of how you move throughout your day. So being really curious about this, if one side of your back, one side of the pelvis is leading the movement, what do you need to do to even that out? And then when you flatten, do both sides flatten the same? Or does the side that was leading the arch, is that less keen to flatten? Does that take a little bit more effort to bring into the floor? Remember, we don't ever move into pain. So if something hurts, make the movement smaller. But all of your awareness into how the back body contracts as you arch and how the front body lengthens. and then how the back body lengthens as you flatten and the front of the body contracts. And just gently waving between that lengthening and contracting. Complete awareness, complete control. The next time that you come back to the floor, you're just going to rest there. So we're going to start off with an exploration of the movement of the left leg. I'd like you to softly slide the left leg along the floor. You're going to keep the ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe, and the heel in contact with the earth. Once the foot has gone as far as it can go without the ball of the big toe or the front of the foot lifting up, you're going to gently slide back. When the foot comes back, I'd like you to press the ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe, and the heel into the floor and lift your toes. So you're drawing the toes back towards your shin. When you're ready to go again, sliding the foot forwards. Remember, the ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe stay to the floor. You'll sense the arch of your foot lift. As the foot softly slides back, when it comes back, press down through the ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe. Try and get the arch to move towards the floor. And you're just going to continue like this. So now you've got used to the movement of the foot and the left leg. I'd like you to notice what's happening through the waist. So as you press down with the ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe, and the knees bent, can you sense a shortening into the left side of your waist and a lengthening into the right? And then as the foot slides forwards, can you sense a lengthening through the left side of your waist? And does the right side shorten? You might even feel something happening through the ribcage and the shoulders. Do you find that the leg will slide further forwards and still keep contact of the foot with the floor if you allow the right side of the waist to shorten? Is it easier to flatten the arch of the foot into the floor when the knee is bent if you allow the right side to lengthen and the left side to shorten? What's happening through your rib cage? What does your skull want to do? If you start to sense any cramp, do less. So you might cramp through the sole of the foot, you could cramp in the calf. Just do less. Be kind, be gentle. Now just allow both your legs to lengthen out. Take a nice, soft, gentle breath. And as you exhale, just let go. And take a moment's awareness. Moment to notice each and every new sensation. Each and every new sensation in the left foot, from the tips of the toes, through the ball of the foot. What can you sense and feel in the arch of the foot? What's the weight of that heel? Has the way that that foot has arranged itself on the end of your leg changed? Noticing what you can sense and feel through the left calf, left shin, left knee, up through the thigh, into the joints of the hip. Left side of the pelvis, left side of the waist. So just taking a learning moment to notice the difference between the side of the body that you've worked, side of the body that you're yet to work. Then when you feel ready, bending the knees again, bringing the feet back to the floor, hip distance apart. This time sliding the right foot forwards. ball of big toe, ball of little toe. In fact, the whole of the foot, apart from the arch, staying in contact with the earth. The further the foot slides forwards, the more you sense your arch lift. Can you sense space across the top of the foot? So can you sense the joints of the foot in the top opening, joints of the foot in the bottom closing? Then you're going to softly slide the right foot back. When it comes back, press down with the ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe. Lift your toes towards your shins. And can you see if you can sense the bones, the joints on the top of the foot closing as you open the joints in the bottom of the foot, trying to lengthen through the sole of the foot. So the movement starts with an exploration of what's happening in the foot as you slide forwards. Foot tries to stay in contact with the earth, so the toes stay down. Arch lifts. Sliding backwards, pressing down, ball of big toe, ball of little toe, and heel. Trying to think about lengthening through the sole of the foot as you lift your toes back towards the shin. Noticing which muscles you're using in your legs as you do this. What's contracting, what's lengthening. So your awareness moving up through the muscles and the joints of the legs. And then noticing what happens in the waist. So as you press down with the ball of the big toe, ball of little toe, and you lift the toes up towards your shin with the bent knee, can you sense the length through the left side of the waist and the shortening in the right? Then as the leg extends away, keeping the toes in contact with the floor, can you lengthen through the right side of the waist and can you shorten through the left? And noticing how this changes the movement. Does this mean that when the knee's bent and you're pressing the foot into the floor and lifting the toes, that you've got more movement? So just noticing how we're bringing the movement of the whole body together. As the foot slides forwards, the left side of the waist will shorten, the right side of the waist will lengthen. As the foot slides back, press down through the balls of the feet as you lift the toes. Right side of the waist will shorten, left side will lengthen. Then allow both your legs to come out long. Allow your breath, your body to settle. And just allow all of that awareness to settle in. What can you sense? What can you feel? What's changed? What's different? And we're going to bend the knees, bringing the feet to the floor, hip distance apart once more. We're going to come back to the arch and flatten, but we're going to move up from the low back. We're going to bring in the movement of the rib cage, the shoulders, the arms, the neck and the skull. So you're going to arch just like we did before. As you do this, can you bring your chin down to your chest? Sense the chest lift up towards your chin. And then as you softly flatten the back into the earth, can you allow your chin to tilt up towards the ceiling? Sense the back of the ribs press into the earth. So the inhale moves you into the arch. Chin comes down towards your chest. Your pelvis, tailbone pressing into the earth. Can you press the tops of the shoulders into the earth? But notice a lovely long arch in the back body. As you exhale, releasing the spine into the earth. Chin tilts up towards the ceiling, so you're going to sense contraction into the back of the neck. But can you sense space in the vertebra between your ribs? As you inhale into the arch, notice the space in the vertebra in the back body closing. space in the vertebra in the front of the body opening. Flattening, space in the vertebra in the back of the body opening, space in the front, the vertebra in the front of the body closing. So as you arch, chin comes down to your chest, shoulders press into the floor, tailbone presses into the floor. As you flatten, chin comes up to the ceiling, top of the pelvis, low back and the rib cage press into the floor. Now we're going to bring in the movement of the arms. So arching just like before, chin comes down to your chest. Arms are going to externally rotate. I want you to make sure that you're not just rotating them in your sockets. You should be able to feel your shoulder blades slide in and down on your spine. Chin tilts towards your chest. As you exhale, you're going to move in the opposite direction. You're going to flatten. Top of the pelvis, low back, ribs press into the earth. The tops of your shoulders will lift away from the earth. You're going to internally rotate your arms and you're going to sense a contraction across the front of the chest as your chin tilts towards the ceiling. As you inhale, you slowly release all of that. And you roll back in the opposite direction. So you move into the arch. Your chin comes down towards your chest. Shoulder blades squeeze in and down on the spine. Whole of the back body contracted, space through the front. As you exhale, going in the opposite direction. Top of pelvis presses into earth. Low back presses into the earth. Back of ribs presses into the earth. Arms internally rotate. Can you sense your shoulder blades moving away from the spine on the back of your ribs? Contraction in the front body, space in the back. Your chin tilts up towards the ceiling. So just exploring both sides of this movement for yourself. Noticing what's contracting, what's lengthening. Where are you closing? Where are you opening? Finding a way to come to a stop, allowing your legs to lengthen out, arms to rest by your sides. Soft, smooth, effortless breath in, and as you exhale, just release, just let go. Taking another mini moment's awareness. Moment to notice what's changed, what's different. Could be sensation in your body. Could be where your body has arranged itself on the floor. Where the breath is moving in your body. Could be a new part of your body that you can now sense and feel clearly. Then we're going to finish with some wash rags. So we're going to bend the knees, bringing the feet to the floor, hip distance apart once more. Your left hand will be facing the ceiling, your right palm will face the floor. We're going to take an inhale at the top, and then as we exhale, your knees are going to fall to the left, your head is going to turn to the right. So you're looking at the palm that's facing the ceiling, your knees will be on the side where your palm faces the floor. As you exhale, you're going to slowly contract the muscles of the tummy to bring your head and knees back to center. The arms start to rotate. As you inhale, your head will turn to the right, your knees will fall to the left. Your left palm is now facing the floor, your right palm is facing the ceiling. The exhale gently contracts the tummy muscles to bring the knees and the head back to center. And then the inhale allows the knees and the head to fall in opposite directions. Can you inhale into the space that you're creating down the left side of the body, so the top of the body? Can you notice that the bottom side of the body shortens? Make sure that when you roll the arms, you're rolling from the shoulder blades and your arms are not just rolling in the sockets. So can you sense your shoulder blades joining in, moving up and down on the back of the ribs as you move? Notice what happens with your neck. So as you have length down the top side of the body, the top side of the neck is actually shortening. So constantly exploring, noticing how your body moves, how much awareness can you bring to this, and how luxurious can you make this movement. As the knees fall to the side and you breathe into the top side of the body, can you create more space by thinking about moving that top knee away? How does that feel? Constantly seeking new awareness, new mobility. The next time that the knees come back to center, allow the legs to lengthen out. Your arms to rest by your sides. Take a nice, soft, smooth breath. Just notice what you can sense, what you can feel. How do you feel? Noticing the quality of your breath. So as you inhale, where does your breath now touch? Is it going anywhere new? Have you found new space, new awareness? And as you exhale, can you use this new awareness to allow yourself to surrender, to release, to let go a little more? And then noticing the quality of your body. Noticing any areas of softness and space that you've created. Noticing any length. Noticing which parts of your body now meet the earth. Have you got new points of contact? What's changed? What's different? And following these points of contact all of the way from the back of your skull, through the back of the shoulders, back of the ribs, through the pelvis, the backs of the legs, and into your heels. As you just take a moment to notice the weight of each heel into the earth. To notice now what you can sense and feel in the arches of the feet, the balls of the feet and the toes. Have you got any new awareness in the tops of the feet, deep within the joints of the feet, the joints of the ankles? What can you feel through the calves and the shins and into the knees? Do you take a moment to notice the distance between the back of each knee and the floor? To notice whether anything's changed, whether anything's different. How do your knees feel now? What can you feel deep within the joints of the knees? And then noticing how the backs of your thighs move towards the earth. What you can sense and feel on the tops of your thighs. What can you feel deep within the bones of your thighs? Deep within the joints of your hips. And then sensing each side of your pelvis as it now meets the earth. Once again, what's changed? What's different? Do you allow your awareness to move into the sides of the waist? Noticing the distance between the left side of the waist and the floor, and the right side of the waist and the floor. And then your awareness sliding in towards the arch of your spine. As you notice the relationship between the whole of your low back and the floor. What can you sense and feel? Can you sense space between each of the vertebrae in your low back? Can you sense length in the muscles of the low back? Can you sense space in the front of your belly as your breath moves softly in? Can you follow your breath into the base of your pelvis? And then as you exhale, can you release? Can you let go? As you then allow your awareness to move on up into the ribs, you notice how each side of your rib cage meets the earth. Can you sense space between each of the vertebrae between the ribs? Space between each of the ribs themselves. And then noticing how your left shoulder blade meets the earth. How your right shoulder blade meets the earth. What you can sense and feel in the tops of the shoulders. So now what's the distance between the top of the shoulders and the floor? Has anything changed? Is anything different? And then can you sense space in the front of the ribs? A softness across the collarbones. And this softness across the collarbones allows your shoulders to release a little further into the earth. And then can you just follow your soft, smooth, effortless breath as the inhale gently explores the space in your ribcage. Space under the collarbones, the space in the back of the shoulders. And as you exhale, surrender, relax, release a little more. And allowing your awareness to move down through your arms, past your elbows, through the wrists and into the palms of the hands. Do you notice the sensations in the palms of the hands and the tips of the fingers, and the length and weight of each arm into the earth? Then allowing your awareness to move back up, back past the elbows, back to the top of the shoulders. From the top of the shoulders, gently sensing into the curve in the back of your neck. Noticing the length on either side of your neck and the weight of your head into the earth. And then simply rest here, floating in effortless awareness. Awareness of each and every part of your body. Awareness of your breath, your mind and your body, resting as one. You can lay here for as long as you wish.